Hi, hello, and welcome to my video tutorial series, JavaScript Crash Course for Experienced Developers. Are you a programmer who have already experience in programming for a few months or a few years in languages like maybe Python, Java, .NET, etc., and you are looking forward to learn JavaScript, okay, in a real quicker way? Then you are in the right place. So in this course, I'm not going to teach you from basic like how we need to teach for beginners, what is a for loop, what is a function and all. But this is more I see you as an experienced developer in some programming language. So I will be teaching how to do the same stuff in JavaScript so that you can quickly learn JavaScript. Okay. So as an introduction, one thing I have to really say about JavaScript is the other languages I mentioned earlier, like Python, Java, these things are mostly used in server side. Okay. But JavaScript is the only language right now that can be used in the client side, which means in the browser. The only JavaScript is the only language the browser understood, and we are using only JavaScript to code things in the front end. Okay, but it is like JavaScript was only used in the browser earlier, maybe before 10 years, but now it is not the case. It is also used in the server side in the name of Node.js, and with this we can even create mobile application. We can even create desktop application with Electron, mobile application with React Native, etc. So yeah, there are a lot we can do with JavaScript now. So let's get started. Let's don't waste further any time. Okay. Um, this is the part one, and what we are going to learn here is we are going to learn what is how do we write a variable in JavaScript, and what are the different data types we have in JavaScript. Okay, so what I have done right now is I have just create a HTML page. As a programmer, you should be knowing this, and I have just opened that HTML page directly in my browser. Okay, so first thing we have to learn is we have something called developer tools, and there we will be having something called inspect. Okay, so this is different for different browsers. Mostly in Mozilla Firefox, everywhere we can just get it just by right clicking and clicking on inspect. But for Safari, I think we have to enable something called developer tools, and only then you will be able to see this option inspect. Okay, but those things you can Google and quickly find. But I suggest to go with Chrome because uh, I love Chrome rather than any other browsers. So let's go with Chrome. So right now I'm in Chrome. I have just opened an HTML page, and I'm right clicking on that page, and I'm clicking on inspect. So while you do this, there are several tabs here, and as a JavaScript developer, first we want to learn this. First, we need just this console tab. So I'm just opening this console. This is where I'm going to see the outputs. Generally, we used to see the output of, for example, Python in terminal and all. Right, we can do the same in JavaScript when we use Node.js, but right now we are going to do it in the console panel, and it's not wrong to know like what is this elements tab. This elements tab is simply the source of the HTML that we actually see in the browser. Okay, but we don't want that right now. We'll just go to the console, and let's stick to our topic, which is variable declaration, and we also see what are the different data types in JavaScript. Okay, so this is the source of this HTML file that you are seeing, and these are the HTML and the head and body tags, and I have just given the heading, and this is where we can write our scripts inside the script tag, an open tag and a close tag of script, and I can write anything here. I mean any JavaScript code here. So let's start with a simple alert. Okay, there's a function called alert in JavaScript. Okay, so this means it just gives you a pop-up like this. You might have seen something like this already in multiple places. Okay, so this is the code for that. Okay, alert would give an alert like this. And if you want to say something, you can pass it also here. Okay, general traditional way of starting like with a hello world, we'll do that. Okay, so hello world. So in the alert box, now you will be able to see hello world. I'm just refreshing the page, and every time after saving something, and so I'm seeing the output. So the code is executed now, and it is an alert with hello world as a text, and we are able to see this a general thing. Okay, so generally we also use this alert box to see the output of JavaScript, and also the other way is you can have something called console.log. This is logging to the console, which means we already have the console panel with us, and there we can see these outputs. Let's see the same text here. Okay, hello world. And now you'll be seeing both alert and the log in the console. Let's see. So I am getting the alert, hello world, and I also see the output here in the console panel. Okay, so mostly we are going to see all the output of the JavaScript code we write in the console panel further. So when you click on this, we can also see the source where it comes from. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, but let's be here in the console panel, and right now we have seen a console log in the console panel. Great, I'll just remove this out and we just have hello world for now. Okay, and as I said, we start with a variable declaration, and then we also go with data types in this first part. Okay, so to declare a variable, it is very simple. We have to use a keyword called var. Okay, and maybe I give my name equal to Vinesh. Yeah, so this is a general syntax for a variable declaration. We also have other keywords called let and const, but we will be seeing it in the upcoming videos. But let's go with var for now. So to declare a variable, all you have to do is var, a space, and the variable's name and the value of it. Okay, so this is clear. Yeah, and when if you guys are coming from a PHP background, then the same we would do as name $name equal to Vinesh in PHP, right? Yeah, the same stuff. We are using a dollar keyword there, and here we are using a var keyword with a space between the var keyword and the real variable name. So this is all about variable declaration, and this data here is having the type string. Okay, string. Okay, so variable name, so just you don't worry about these suggestions. Okay, I'm using some a suggestions, and also it is actually suggesting that you don't worry about that, you just concentrate on what I am writing. Okay, so variable declaration we know, and you guys generally know what is variable declaration because you already have experience in programming. Okay, and now we are going with data types. We have string as a data type, and this is Vinesh. It is a string. Okay, so how do we make sure that this is a string? Console.log name. So this means we have this variable name, and we are actually simply logging this to the console. So we should be getting two outputs now, console.log hello world. So we'll be getting a hello world output, and we'll be also getting an output Vinesh because we have stored Vinesh string into the variable name, and we are also logging that to the console. Now let's see the output. Yeah, we are right, hello world and Vinesh. Awesome. Okay, now I said that this is a data type string. How do we make sure that this is data type string? There's a keyword called type of and a space and that variable name, and it would actually give us what type it is. So it says it is a string. So I was right. So this is string, and the next variable, let's declare another variable, and of course age, and let's keep it as 30 even if it's not true. So that is number here. So we have another data type called number. So we have learned string and we have number. So the trickier part here is, wait, anyways, I'll also console let's go step by step like we did earlier. Let's console or log to the console the age, which should give us the output 30. That's right. I zoom a bit, okay. And when you put type of here, keyword type of and age, then you should be seeing number. Yeah, that's right. So one thing that you should be really caring about here is when it is a number, you should not put quotes. Okay, if you put this quotes, either it can be also like when you are declaring string, then it can be also single quotes and it can be also double quotes. Okay, so when you put this number inside the quotes, then it automatically becomes string. Okay, so this is not a number anymore, this will become string. So when you see the output here, this is string. Okay, so how do we differentiate? Let me change this variable to age string and age number. Now you can easily also see the difference in the console panel. So here I keep it as number, and here I keep it as string. So console of log type of age string and age number. Let's see the output, and we are also going to add two more console.log age a string and a semicolon, and age is number. All right. So now you see the output here. See age string 30, age number 30, and I have also logged to the console the type of it with the type of keyword of JavaScript. Now I zoom a bit, you should already see a difference. You should see this 30 in black color, and you should see this 30 in blue color. So you can see it, right? So this 30 is in black color because it is a string. Okay, and here this 30 is in blue color because it's a number. So this is a general character of this console panel with which we can easily find the difference of what data type it is when it is a number, like to make sure if it is a real number or it is a string. So I hope this is clear. Moving forward, there is another data type called where is approved. Boolean. Okay, so Boolean is another data type, and let's do the same thing here. Is approved console. Okay, and now you should be seeing the output true. And what is the data type name here? Of course, we can use this type of, and we can understand that it is Boolean. All right, let's see. Yeah, it is Boolean. But the same thing which I was talking about for talking about this number, when it is put inside, sorry, this is number again. When it is put inside quotes, then it become actually string. The same way, when you put this true inside quotes, it become actually a string. Now you can see the output here. It became string. Okay, the same stuff. And and as I told, we can see also the color difference. So right, it's not type of, I remove type of. So when it is really a Boolean, you will be seeing it in blue color. When it is a really Boolean, you can see it in blue color. But when it is actually a string, you will be seeing it in black color. Okay, so to just quickly understand like whether it is a real Boolean or it is a string. Okay, we can have this color. Okay, and we have two values for Boolean. It can be true and false. These are the only two variables. And one more thing that I missed here is this age number can be also 30.5. I think we have float as data types and all for Java, etc. But here there's only data type number, and even 30.5, which is decimals, is also number. Let's see. Let's also see like if it is right. Yeah, it is number. It is in blue color. And if we see type of age number, we don't have something called float and all. This is again number. Okay, so string is simply string. When you put also number inside string, it is string, and anything like decimal or general numbers, it is all coming under number. Okay, and we have something called Boolean, and we have something called null, where x equal to null and where y equal to undefined. So these are also data types, null and undefined. Okay, so null and undefined. Okay, maybe where x equal to null. 1 second, we'll just check if that is right or wrong first. Type of y. Okay, so now let's see the output. Okay, so this is a confusing part of JavaScript. Okay, one point we have to keep in mind is in JavaScript, even if there is strings, even if there is numbers, even if there is booleans, mostly everything is considered as an object. Okay, in JavaScript, even a number is considered internally as an object, and null maybe like even if it is considered as an object in JavaScript, the number, but it is not shown as object. Okay, we saw it as number itself, but when null is having a data type called null, but it is shown as object because internally again null is an object, but it is actually null. Those are some confusing part of JavaScript, but you don't worry. We will see what it is deeply and why it is an object and things like that. But generally, you trust me now. You have to trust. I cannot prove this. Other things I have proved, but this, yes, this is a data type called null. And but when we put type of, it will be shown as object, which is a little bit confusing. But don't think a lot about it. Okay, X is null, and null is a data type. And the same way, undefined is also a data type. So let's don't go with typo for this because it is confusing. Okay, so now you can see null and undefined, but you can already see this null and undefined is having a different color, like it is gray, right? It's not black, it is not blue, it is gray, because a null and undefined generally say something which doesn't actually exist, or it is a null value or an empty value kind of. So that's why it is in gray color. And we have this same problem here as well. When we put it in quotes, it is not anymore null or undefined as a data type. It will become null or undefined as a string, and that's why it's now black color, right? So these are 5 main primitive data types. We call it as primitive data types: string, number, boolean, null, and undefined. And we'll also learn where this undefined comes from, when it is undefined and all. And generally undefined will not be a value which we actually manually give to a variable. Wouldn't we see it in action? Okay, fine. Null is something that we can manually give. Like most cases, we also say that this values have nothing, then we go for null. But undefined is something different. Let me explain what is undefined. Okay, let me comment all this code. Okay, consider that I'm having a variable, say x. Okay, var x. So this x is a variable now, that is clear, but I haven't assigned anything to it, right? I haven't assigned anything to this x variable, but this x variable still exists. For example, I'll show it in action. So I haven't given anything like var x, I haven't declared, but I am trying to access that x right now. So now what is the output? So you got an error because x is not defined at all. X, there's no variable called x right now. Okay, so x is not defined. But when I declare that variable x, but I haven't given any value to it, now the output is the x value is undefined. So now you understand when undefined is a value inside a variable. So a variable is declared and you haven't given any value to it. Okay, so then that particular variable holds a value called undefined. Okay, but the funny part is you can even assign undefined to it, which will also give you the same output, which is a little bit crazy, but still. Okay, so other things like Vinesh 30, 30.5, false, these things, even null, these things are something we generally assign to a variable. Okay, but undefined is a bit different. Even if you can assign undefined to a variable, but undefined is a special data type which is actually in the variable x or any other variable when there is nothing defined, like we haven't given a real value to that, then it will be undefined. So we are clear with all these data types, right? So we have string, number, boolean, undefined, and we also have something called symbol, which I'm not going to now. And we have other 2 main data types further, which is object, okay, and the other one is array. Okay, so let's stop with this for this part 1, and I'll be explaining this object and array in the next part, that is in the next video. Thank you.